Welcome to Discovering Africa Through Technology, the podcast series that showcases the brilliance of Africa's great minds, innovators, and experts as they tackle complex challenges with homegrown solutions driven by knowledge, technology, and innovation. Our podcast is inspired by the African Union Agenda 2063 Aspiration 7, which seeks to rebrand Africa and change negative narratives and perspectives through science, technology, and innovation. We believe that Africa has the power to solve its own development challenges and become a strong, united, resilient, peaceful, and influential global player and partner. Join us as we explore the transformative potential of technology in Africa with your host, Razia Kulatain Mwanga, and learn from the experts driving change on the African continent.
And today in the program, this month we celebrate the International Women's Day, with the theme of investing in women to accelerate progress through recognizing and honoring feminist African women change makers who have done exceptional work to invest and accelerate progress in their careers. Today we celebrate a data scientist trailblazer. Meet Pauline Okeyo, a solution engineer for the Middle East and African region, and also a geospatial technology professional with over 10 years experience in location intelligence and analytics at Esri, the global leader in location analytics. She supports education, nonprofit and government institutions at national and regional levels in the application of GIS solutions to achieve sustainable development across the region. She has also worked in biodiversity management for the Kenyan government. She holds a Master of Science in Geospatial Information Science, a bachelor's degree in geography, and is a certified project management practitioner, trainer, and enterprise geodata management associate. Pauline is passionate about supporting professional growth activities for early professionals by advising institutions on internship activities for geography-related courses, supports mentorship and accelerator programs as a professional mentor and advisor, panelist and moderator in technology and innovation ecosystems and spaces. Welcome to Discovering Africa, the home of African great minds and solutions. When we talk about the International Women's Day, what does it mean to you, Pauline?
Thank you, Razia. And thank you for this opportunity to be on this episode today. When I look at International Women's Day, as a woman, it is an important day not only for me, but for many others, as it's a day that celebrates us and brings awareness to matters important to us as women. International Women's Day provides an opportunity not only to recognize the contribution we have made in society as women who are thriving, or we are trying to do our best to contribute to society, but also provides avenues for other people to discuss and reflect on how we can collectively make it easier for other women to thrive. So it finds that some of us are in environments or situations that are conducive for us to be at our best, but some others might not. So with IWD, or International Women's Day, we are able to come together and reflect on what are the current challenges and how do we make it better.
Can you tell us what does a solution engineer do? And how is that space in terms of women participation and contribution?
I am a woman from Sub-Saharan Africa, from Kenya, and I've gotten the chance to grow my skills or develop myself over, I think now it's about 14, maybe a half years, where after doing my undergraduate, I got into the industry, starting from biodiversity management in Kenya. Then I transitioned to a local company, Esri in Africa. Then again, I continued further to transition to a regional position within Africa and now beyond Africa. So the industry I'm in, it's data science, but it's very much focused to a subsector of data science known as spatial data science, which we can also refer to it as the science of where. So what spatial data science involves is the use of location, or where things are, as a collective thread to help anyone understand how the environment around them affects the challenges they are trying to find solutions for. And this can scale from global challenges such as climate change, which is affecting everyone, or to local aspects whereby, for example, at a district level or a lower level than that, we're trying to see how do we allocate resources equitably to make sure everyone has a chance to access resources or services available to them. We have scenarios where women are directly engaged in data science. They have roles directly engaged in that. But you also have cases where, as professionals, people are performing different roles, but they leverage the knowledge they already acquired in spatial data. So they're just picking up some of these skills and applying in their actual jobs. However, I would say that we have general ratios of our studies or assessments that have been done over the last 5 or so years. The ratio of males to females in this industry is about 80% to 20%. That's quite a low ratio in this industry. So when you look at the public sector, this could be about 42% of females, simply or by extension, being involved in data science, which is quite good, to be honest. And I commend the efforts being made by a lot of government institutions to provide more opportunities for women. But it comes lower or becomes lower when we are looking at more technologically advanced roles, such as programming, where we see very few women participating in such roles. It could go to even less than the 20% average, general average in the industry. The unfortunate situation is that, according to a study done by Marriott de Royst, Victoria University, back in 2018, was that 62% of women do not see themselves staying in this field for over 10 years. So that means we have a very high drop-off rate of participation of women. So they start early on, but over time, because of maybe not being in a conducive environment, they drop off from this sector. So it's quite a huge gap, which I think a lot of ourselves as women in the field, as well as other people interested in supporting women in the field, that we need to try and address the situation.
20% women only out of 80% men, 62 women only staying for 10 years in this field. For some people who are listening today who might not really understand what a solution engineer is and what you people do, some of the challenges that your profession solves, giving us some specific examples that people can relate to and really understand your field?
Basically means that we have users of geospatial technology globally or within our region who are interested in applying this technology to help them solve challenges, trying to help them identify what challenges are there generally and where can location intelligence or where could geospatial technology come in to help them address this challenge. So I can just narrow down to an example we have for local government authorities, where in most cases they are responsible of a particular region which has a boundary, an administrative boundary. So at times they want to understand what is the distribution of people within their area, where do we have the different kinds of population, as well as the vulnerable people in their population. So where do we have orphans? Where do we have elderly people? So once they're aware of where the people are, then comes the question of where are the facilities that will provide necessary services to them. So this means where are the hospitals, where are public amenities that will be relevant to them. For example, if you're looking at women who need maternal care and so on, are they able to easily access medical facilities that provide maternal care? So those are some of the questions that might be there. And where I come in as a solution engineer is to help these local authorities to be able to put in this information system. So from the map, they're able to see what is the distribution of people, of the different demographics that are there. And then now we try to allocate resources based on this. So we are looking at financial ability to access these facilities. So some of them might be able to pay for services, but some of these people need. So how do we make sure that they can get to these locations and access these services? Also, when it comes to distribution of resources, at times you'll find that maybe some health facilities are being concentrated in an area. So we try to analyze and understand why is that so, and how do we ensure there's equitable distribution of these resources. because this is something very important to make sure that everyone within this administrative area or this district, or this local authority is able to access the services equitably. The same level of effort being applied by someone who has the means should be also considerable or equitable to the level of effort as someone who might be not having the financial ability. So with solution engineering, we help some of these agencies to put this information together, look at the underlying relationship, and try to better adjust how resources are allocated to make it easier for people to access.
Can you tell us some other exciting projects that you have worked on and their impact?
Being able to develop solutions that were important for census activities in some of the countries within the region, whereby they were trying to find an efficient way of being able to conduct the pre-enumeration exercise for census activities in their countries. So that means being able to map existing structures, get preliminary information, and now that allowed for the distribution of enumeration areas, as well as allocation of these enumeration areas to enumerators who will go ahead to go and verify this information. Effect of that was that some of these agencies were able to manage the costs that normally go to the preparation of an actual census. So having this free enumeration exercise means that they are aware of what buildings or structures are there, what's the estimated number of people that an enumerator would go to during the actual census, and this allows them to properly demarcate the areas and allocate the number of people. So that helps a lot in the cost as well as the time that will be involved in a census activity. The prerequisites in terms of what data needs to be analyzed after in terms of dissemination of census insights. So whenever we're looking at where are the men, where are the women mostly found, do we have like a large number of children, where do we have elderly people, disabled people? We were able to provide this solution to census, to organizations that conduct census activities across their country. So I believe that was a huge, significant project because from these insights, it's possible to do other activities, be it allocation of resources, which you've already mentioned, to trying and identify if there are any development partners or donor agencies interested in supplementing the support being done by government level. It makes it easier for them to identify where are these people mostly. Can we access them? How do we make sure that they have better access to them?
There's a lot of money that goes into census, and it's good when you go into census and you have all this information because it helps you to save time and to allocate better resources so that to make sure justice is done and the census is implemented very well. Can you tell us some of those good things that we can celebrate about this particular field and this area of work that you do?
There are so many leadership opportunities for women in data science. One of the best things that has happened in our industry over the last few years is that communities for women in data science, in spatial data science, and other related industries have come up strongly to provide a safe space for women to congregate, to share their experiences, and get the required support they need to help them. So from this, I've been able to see women grow in their career, be able to access leadership positions within their companies as well as beyond. So I believe that this is one of the main contributors or one of the main benefits of being in such an industry. The other one is that we have a lot of networking opportunities for women, a lot of events, be it virtual or in-person events, committees being put in place that allow women to participate in some of these avenues. So through such networking, you find, again, women are exposed to opportunities that help them to advance their career, as well as opportunities to interact with other people who are already leading in this field to help them get knowledge and also build their capacity. Because you'll find it's actually easier to grow when you're learning from someone who has already achieved what you're interested in. So I believe that this is something, again, that is of great benefit to women in this sector. A lot of organizations, because of the need to have more women participating in STEM, science, technology, engineering. There are a lot of programs right now that have been put in place that allow women to grow and thrive in this industry. Tech women. We also have programs within Africa, like there's one I'm in, it's called Wenters. We have these opportunities where women could enroll for a program, for a cohort of that program, and they get exposed to knowledge and skills when it comes to better identifying what they're doing and aligning themselves to be able to grow within their own companies. And the good thing again about these programs, they are well supported. So that means that literally at no cost to the individual or to the woman, they're able to access these opportunities of exposure, of learning, of networking, of being part of a community. So I'd say those are main benefits that we have as women in this sector.
Listening to you, Pauline, I understand now. I'm probably in the wrong profession. I should have actually gone into this profession. And I like that that despite the challenges that we have in terms of having more women in science and in STEM, there are these structures that have been created, these opportunities and these investments. I love the idea of having safe spaces which can support women advancement, where women can network and women can grow and thrive, which is quite interesting. I can hear you telling us that a lot of investment has been done. Is the investment enough to sustain the current situation, to make sure that we have more women in that space and who can grow and become better leaders and access all these opportunities? Or you still think something can be done?
That's a very good question, Razia, and something that we as women generally, and also women in this sector, that you are always fighting for, that we are grateful for the support that has already been demonstrated by a lot of companies, even for government setting up policies that allow for more participation of women. We're already grateful for all the efforts that have been made, but still more could be done. So investment in women means creating an environment where women feel secure and secure enough to thrive. In terms of more of what more could be done, I think there are more opportunities for women to be involved in decision making in their organization. This could be through formal channels, such as committees and so on, or even just leadership roles themselves, but also informal channels where women are paired with other leaders within their organization and they're able to shadow some of this work and build knowledge and experience in this. Also, in terms of flexible work, because as women, we want to grow our skills, we want to advance our knowledge, we want to build families, we want to engage in our own passions as much as possible. So if there's more flexibility in our work environment to allow us to do this, I feel it will allow us to better show up at our work or in the workplace once we get this kind of support. So there's already a lot being done, but there's always room to do more in terms of flexibility at work for the women, as well as more leadership roles for women or involvement in decision making.
As we wrap this up, in your opinion, do you see women taking advantage of these opportunities, or is there a problem?
Many of us have taken a backseat in terms of advocating for ourselves. And by that, I mean there's shyness in terms of being able to speak for ourselves or being able to be visible for the work we've done. So what I would encourage women is, first of all, to not feel that they're not good enough to participate in some of these things. And I think it's something I noticed the first time I was looking for mentors, for women mentors. That was about 5 years ago. I approached some women, and some of them actually said, I don't feel like I'm good enough to be a mentor, which was so heartbreaking because these are women who have extensive experience. So the first thing I would like to say is, for women to be able to secure those opportunities of inclusion, as well as being invested upon, it's good to just raise your hand up or to be more actively involved in your advancement. Speak up, be active in some of the roles that are available. So I think that's one of the main messages in terms of being supported. It's very important. So also for women to communicate where they would like to be supported. It's not easy to do this within current organizations, but also actively participating in some of these communities I've mentioned. We have women in data science chapters, women in GIS, youth mapper chapters, so many chapters of women communities across the world. So joining one will actually give you that safe space to be able to, identify areas that you feel that you need to grow and get the support that you need. So I'd say those are the main messages I'd have for women: to try to be actively involved in the organization, and secondly, be more involved in women communities to have. I think I would say for me, I've been very fortunate that I came from family of very strong women on either side. I've been fortunate to be around very strong women in my career, and for other women, they might not have. So what I encourage them to do is to be more included, to be better supported. It's good to first join a community and also not to feel shy how where they are in life. I think for many people, some are satisfied with where they are, some of them feel like they could do more. So just do your best, be part of the community that allows you to be at your best.
Thank you so much, Pauline, for sharing and celebrating the International Women's Day with Discovering Africa Through Technology, the home of African-grown solutions by African think tanks and experts like you. Today, we have heard that a lot of investment has been done, but still it is not enough. More needs to be done. There is safe space that is inclusive for women advancement, but also women need to be visible, and that they need to know that they are enough and that they need to take advantage of the existing opportunities so that they can progress and accelerate and become better people, so that they can become also leaders in their profession. Thank you for your time. Until next time, this is your host, Razia Mwawanga. Happy International Women's Day.